how's you guys doing today? Felix, my friend, how are you, my man?
Man, I'm doing good. I am great today. This is a first for us, guys. This is a great
Yes,
day today. Great
real
weekend.
excited
I'm
about
hoping
this
you
one.
guys had a great Easter that just passed for our Easter and for all our Jewish family. And I
Yeah,
hope you guys
the
had a great
Passover.
Passover as well.
Yes,
Please, guys, um, thank you for another episode here on Rated F. We'll love to see you guys here. Very special episode, Robbie, right?
yes,
Don't you
I'm
feel it?
excited about
I
this one.
feel it.
I mean, since what 2 years ago when we first started doing these videos, it's just kind of kicked us off, helped us out a lot. Um, it's the creator of our intro music. We know him
Oh, yeah.
personally.
If
I
you
just
don't
met
know him,
him.
you gonna know him today.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited about this. He's a cool cat, real cool
Yes,
cat.
guys, and he's actually what we have now dubbed the voice of Rated F. The man, the myth, the legend, Daytona's baby boy.
Yee! Ya tú sabes, mi gente. What's up? What's up? The PrimeTime Nino in the flesh.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
brother.
How you
So
feeling?
this has actually been. First off, how you feeling? Yes.
I feel great, man. I've been working like a dog all month, so it's been a little crazy on my end. You know, having a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old running around here is always adventurous.
Belated congratulations on the
Thank you,
7-year-old.
thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, they are growing quickly and making me broke quickly. So it's working out.
Man, love it, brother. And I haven't had the chance to meet your kids. I know COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, the pictures and videos I've seen you always post of them, man. A beautiful baby, beautiful family.
Thank you. Thank
Can't
you.
wait to see you guys again in person. You know, to link
Same
up.
here.
But
For sure.
you know, this has actually been some time in the making. We've been actually wanting to do this type of episode where we have you on, because I remember when we started doing the Rated F, we were kind of like trying to, you know, figure out, well, we got to get an intro. And my brother was the one who said, yo, reach out to Nino. He says, this songs are dope.
For sure.
And I was like,
Yeah,
you
they
know
are.
what? I didn't even think about it. And lo and behold, remember having a conversation with you and you said, I'm down. And I was, yes. And, you know, shout out to you, man. Your albums have been awesome. We've been following you, not just because I'm a friend, but honestly speaking, listening to your music, I love it. I still bump to it, all of them, every time.
I appreciate that, man. It's really cool because, like, for me, I really enjoy like this spectrum of the entertainment business. So I'm a huge podcast fan. Like I listen to podcasts in the car on my way to gigs all the time. And I'm just like a fan of that type of conversation, barbershop talk type deal, where we get to just kick it and talk about like things that we're interested in. And you'll be surprised how many people on the internet are checking your stuff out just to get your take on something that they're interested in as well. So when you guys told me that you guys were doing a podcast and asked for some music, I was like, dude, here's the album, pick a song. Like, I don't care what you use, just use it. I don't care. It's good, man. Don't even worry about it. It's nothing for me. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. Love the show. And I'm just glad to see y'all progressing and, you know, moving up in the podcast world. I can't wait to see what y'all got next.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. And
this
guys,
has been a complete remodel. Yeah, go ahead, Felix.
No. I'm gonna, and like you said, it's been a remodel. I think COVID escalated some stuff to change, but
yeah,
you know, definitely was good to have it going and progressing. And you know, shout out to everyone who's helped us out along the way, and you as well, my man. And I do want to kind of do a little plug-in really quick. If you guys want to get more information, more stuff on the PrimeTime Nino that we have here today, I did drop his Instagram right below us. His Twitter is the same handle as well. Follow up on him, his music. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, not because I personally know him. His music is fire, and we've loved every minute of it. Our family stays to his music.
Yes. I can't wait for everybody to check it out. And hit me up on Instagram and stuff. That's where I get to be a complete idiot in front of the entire world. And yeah, y'all can DM me and tell me how stupid I am. It's great.
That's cool.
But you know, I do want to kind of get a little bit more into a little bit of you, because like I said, for the people who don't know you, I know you're Daytona's baby boy. I know A lot of people in Daytona definitely know you. We have a lot of people around who are logging in today who are from other spectrums, haven't really heard your music. So we want to kind of get a little bit more of you first before we get into what we're going to talk about. So I do want to kind of ask you a quick question, and both of us would. What inspired you into getting into music? Like, what kind of got you going in the music industry? And kind of give us a little bit of insight of that.
So I have a long history of like my love for music. I grew up in a really musical household. We were always listening to music in our house, and my brother, who's 10 years older than me, had aspirations of becoming a DJ like super early in his life. So I mean, we were probably like, he was probably like 15 years old, and we would be going to church on Sundays. And in Catholic mass, I don't know. Every church is different. Everybody's different. But at our mass, we would have like a little congregation like meeting after church where everybody would, eat on some donuts, have some coffee, and we would have some music playing in the congregation room. And crazy enough, it's just a bunch of Latinos listening to bachata, salsa, and merengue, and all this music about like love and sex and all that stuff. We just got out of mass, but
church.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. But so we'd be in church, and my brother would go to the DJ booth and like just be watching this dude, press play, fade at church. And he was just so interested in this because he was like, dude, I get to press 3 buttons and make money doing it. Like, hell yeah, I'm all for that. And all the DJs out there are probably going to talk mad crap about me saying that, but it's definitely not just 3 buttons. But to a 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid, like you watching this dude literally press a button and fade, not thinking about the musical aspects of that job. And so watching my brother get into that field and that love, like going to the music record stores all the time and getting the new cassette that dropped, the new, CD that dropped, watching him go through that, and me being his younger brother and being hella nosy, just going into his room and, stealing the CD so I could check it out, got the new Blueprint CD, let me go check that out. I would just sit there and truffle through his little stash all the time. And I think that's what brought me into my love of music as far as like figuring out different genres that I was into. It was all really confusing as a kid because like you don't really understand the content of the music. You just really understand like the musical aspects of it, the beat, the rhythm of it. You understand that this song can make people dance. This song is, a slow song or whatever. Wow, this is a really long answer. I'm so sorry, but
we like it.
No, it's just perfect.
That's that rated F is raw, and the answers are raw, and it comes from an emotional place. I love it.
That's what I love about y'all show, is that it's very, just open space to talk, and that's really cool. But yeah, I think that's what really got me inspired into getting into music, is just like seeing my brother's love of it and watching what he was getting into and how he got into music is what kind of led me to get into that. And then later on, like wanting to learn how to play different instruments and getting into the band in school and stuff, I needed something to like do in school. And I wasn't doing all the stuff that like regular kids would go want to do. Like everybody wanted to play football, and I was like, y'all not gonna tackle me. No,
I don't want to get hit.
I'm not getting
Practice.
hit for free. Like, no, absolutely not.
Not free.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I'm gonna hit
pay
this
me.
clarinet.
Is what I've been saying since like 12 years old. It's just pay me. I don't. And Felix will tell you, I'm not doing anything for free. I don't. No, absolutely not. I'm not here for that. But yeah. So like football and all of that stuff, like just didn't work out for me. I played baseball for a little bit because I'm Dominican, and it's a requirement at this point. It's a requirement to at least play 2 years of baseball before you die.
So. Dominican person I've heard this year that said that. I work with a guy.
It's a requirement. My dad explained it to me. Yeah, my dad explained it to me very early. He was like, "Okay, my friend, you have 3 things you have to do before you get out of here. I don't know if anything's gonna happen within the next 5 years. You don't even know. Car accident can happen. Boom, you gone. So you have to make sure 2 years, boom, bap, baseball. You gotta play second base." And then, you have to make a plátano sandwich before you got to get out of here. It's just a lot of Dominican stuff. And
you got to get to school for breakfast every day.
Right. Now my life has changed, and I try to eat less fried foods, but here I am.
You know what though? Sometimes it hits.
It hits, bro. Not sometimes, every time. It hits every time.
You've been eating something different all the time. And suddenly, like, man, I gotta get that fried food really quick, and then all of a sudden, that should be hitting different the minute it comes back different.
in. And it brings you back, and you're sitting there questioning why you stopped eating it.
Yeah, you're like, damn, why did I stop this? And it's like, it's because it's not that healthy, but it tastes
right. It's because I want to stay here.
It's in my blood. You're fighting yourself every day. It's a battle.
Every day.
Yeah, literally. Bro, I'm Puerto Rican, so you already know it. If we ain't gotten something fried, it may not be always that great.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. Like, everybody's like, oh man, like, we gotta get on this health kick. You know what I'm saying? Let's lose weight. Let's really regenerate. And you seeing all these wrestlers like go from being really fat to being like ripped as hell and swole, but they're like not that big anymore, but they're like super in shape, like, and it's like, oh man, I should do this. But then like, I really want some mango. Like, I don't really want it that bad.
I can't eat bland chicken every day. I gotta put some sauce on it.
The chicken and the rice, like, come on, man.
The adobo in the pantry, just wasting space.
Just wasting. You don't want to season it a little bit, like.
Just throw a little. Can I just a dash or something? Just give some salt.
Just a little salt.
Oh man. Anyway, moving forward. I want to ask you a question, my man. Like, see, you grew up in the music business, music in the church and music aspect of the church. It seems like it's a part of you, so you're very opinionated on it, and that shows me a passion for it, man. In more of a broad spectrum question, when it comes to all genres of the music business, who would you say is the Mount Rushmore of the music business, in your opinion?
This is like, you always get these types of questions and stuff like that, and it's like, it feels like there's like 4 guns pointed at you, and like you're just hoping these 4 guns don't go off and hit you in the eye, because it's like you only got 4 spots, and you have to be very selective with those 4 spots.
You could well, the Mount Rushmore, but you could expand the Mount Rushmore if you want. The faces don't gotta be that big.
Okay, I love this show. There's
do 50 faces on
right here. They don't limit you on this show. There's no limits.
We'll give you the question. Kind of grow with it where you want, but
I like
obviously.
I like where y'all going. I like where y'all going with this. I like it. So the thing is like, I'm being in band and like being into music as long as I've been into it, like I've been and being a DJ too, right? So like I've been introduced to so many genres of music. I have to play so many genres of music that I don't enjoy, that I don't really like listening to, or I get free will sometimes, and they say play whatever you want, and I play reggaeton for like 3 hours. So there's that. Like
Bad Bunny be on repeat.
Yeah, like
same song.
Why has Bad Bunny played so much? But I don't know. My Mount. So I'll also go ahead and put Bad Bunny as my first spot on the Mount Rushmore. I can't.
If you didn't say Bad Bunny, I may have been a little bit more upset with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody that hears my music that's about to come out and then like hears me talk and not mention Bad Bunny would be like, dude, what are you?
Like, what, like, not even mentioning?
You're not even gonna say anything about him? You know what I mean? Like,
clearly inspired.
Yeah, it's clearly inspired. He's one of my favorites for sure. Childish Gambino is another artist.
Spoke to my heart.
He's been one of my favorites since, like, I feel like I've known him before people really even knew about him. I got introduced to his music super early, to where he was like really like backpack rapping. It was like kind of like comedy at first, because he was a comedian and he was a writer, and then he became an artist, right? Or whatever order you want to put it in. So like, yeah, he's one of my favorites, and I think being a part of somebody's career and watching it like grow is super important to anybody who's into music or anybody who gets asked this type of question, because when you see their whole progression as an artist, and you see where their music came from to where it's at now. I think that's super important, being a fan of somebody's music. So I really do appreciate being a fan of his, because I've been able to see his whole transformation as an artist. I would be remiss if I didn't say Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is like bigger than music. It's more like Michael Jackson is like its own brand, and he's entertainment. But like his music was what I grew up listening to. Like that's when people talked about like hits at parties that you listen to. Like if you didn't play a Michael Jackson record, like what's wrong with you? I don't
Party
know.
was whack.
Yeah, like the party's whack at that point. Like they didn't play no Michael. Like they didn't play
Like
none.
not even a little bit. Like
I heard 4 Biggie songs and no, nothing. Like rock with you, like you know. So yeah, Michael Jackson. This is hard.
And I gave you this question a while back too.
You
just
did,
so you gotta be
man.
prepared.
And the thing is like I wanted
had a
to,
month to
I
prepare.
wanted to like see some of these questions. This is like, okay, where are we gonna go? Like, where's this interview gonna go? I didn't necessarily want to like prepare answers for the show. I still wanted to answer everything off the cuff, but like I knew this question was coming, and I was like, damn. Like when you asked it, I was like, oh, that's the one you really ain't prepared for.
That was the one I was like, no.
Damn, you really should have took some more time and thought about this. My fourth one, and this will be my last. I'll do a standard Mount Rushmore. So I did Childish Gambino, Bad Bunny, Michael Jackson. I'm gonna go ahead and say J. Cole.
Okay.
As my fourth, and only reason I'm saying that is because I think in that 4-person spectrum, I think you could get like all the little parts of me in one. Like Bad Bunny gives you that Latino side, the Dominican side, likes the reggaeton, still likes that trap, rap style. Michael Jackson is like more of my onstage personality, like very entertainer-like, and I like all the aspects of like show. I'm like a big show person, so if you go to one of my shows, you'll get that. It's a lot of theatrics, it's smoke and mirrors. It's like, everybody talks about Cody Rhodes' entrance in AEW being like 30 minutes long, and I was sitting at the TV like, yes, like please, like give me more. Like
it's the presentation.
I need
of
more.
what
It's weird. Like everybody's like, he takes 30 minutes to get to the ring, and I'm like, he needs an hour.
So did
and
Undertaker.
15 minutes. Like so did the Undertaker.
The Undertaker's still making his entrance. He retired last
like y'all used to talk about Ultimate Warrior, but like all he did was run. Like I don't got time for that. I don't
can't run with colors.
Running colors, like okay, cool. That was cool when I was 8. Like grow up, So Michael Jackson's like that side of things, and then Childish Gambino is like I feel like my creative side. He's very like out there. His music inspirations are very out there.
His videos be trippy. If you haven't seen a Childish Gambino video, you haven't done LSD, because that makes you feel like you're tripping balls on something.
He's like the Jordan Peele of music videos, because there's always some type of hidden meaning or symbolism in every screenshot, but then it's weird as hell as well.
People don't talk enough about the This Is America video, like Childish Gambino's This Is America video. I don't think anybody really realized how big of a moment that was when it came out, because like the internet like stopped for like all of like 4 hours and 50 minutes, and then like we just stopped talking about it. But like that was the greatest video that had come out within like 10 years.
Man, I remember I had moved to Fort Lauderdale when that video came out. And I remember we were all talking about it at my Nike when I worked at Nike, and all of us were kind of like, "What the hell just happened?"
Right.
And we were blown away with it. Like we were so shocked. No one could explain for a hot minute what the hell was going on, and we were like, "That was dope."
Yeah. And you still can't really explain it to this day. Like to this day, it's still like a mystery. What exactly? It was full art put in on a music video, right? It was just art that you sit and have a perspective every time you watch it. Like it's a different perspective every time you watch. You catch something new every time you watch it, and I think that's like what fans enjoy about entertainment, music in general. That's like really what I get inspiration from him from. It's like his creative mind. And so imagine being a fan of his when he was doing like stand-up comedy, and then this dude makes This Is America and drops it like, I think it was like the night of the Super Bowl or something, bro. It was like,
I think so.
Something crazy. And I just remember being like, bro, Childish Gambino did that. And I was going everywhere with my Childish Gambino shirt. I was repping hard as hell. I was like, I knew him first. Y'all don't know nothing about camp. Like, y'all don't know nothing about the stand-up.
Oh my God.
You know, I was
You didn't watch Community. Get out of here.
So yeah,
Community
is such a good show, bruh. So underrated. Like, that's like
of
The
its time and
Office
underrated.
before The Office, right?
Yes.
Like,
Amen.
Yes.
Before they
That
tried
show
to
wouldn't
remake The
last
Office
in today's era,
from
too.
the UK version, ours was Community.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly. Did I miss anybody? I said Michael Jackson, Bad Bunny, Gambino. What was
J. Cole.
J. Cole is definitely like the person that keeps me, like, every time I hear a J. Cole record, I'm like, oh, shit, you're not rapping enough. Rap more. Rap all the time. Like you're singing too much. You need to rap more. Be harder. Like, you know, I just always hearing his records and being amazed at how good at rap he is. I think he's the best rapper alive. But that's just my...
And it's a hard argument with that one, because I personally grew up Biggie, DMX, you know, grew up with all those 90s guys, early 2000 guys. But it's hard for me to really say that, but I fell in love with lyrics. And I remember growing up and saying, you know, if you can do all these dancey stuff and it's cool to listen to and stuff like that, but if it doesn't have any meaning behind it, I didn't care for it too much. Like, I'll listen to it if it popped up, but it wasn't something I was going to go to. When I heard J. Cole, and I used to hate hearing the battle of, who's better, J. Cole and Drake. It wasn't a competition, not because of one was better than the other. It just, their styles were very different.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to J. Cole going, my God, like, he's hitting bars.
Yeah.
And it was bars after bars after bars with that one.
It was to the point where, like, I would listen to him and even his stupid lines, like even the dumb punchlines, the ones that were like, if anybody else said them, you'd say they were corny, but you just can't disrespect J. Cole like that. So you just sit there and take it and like, oh, you know what? He really put that together. That thing about the toothpaste and the toothbrush. I like that one.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. He did that really well. Like,
I think it was when Middle Child, the song Middle Child came out, and I was listening to it. I was like, this guy, is he an alien? Like, he's just thinking on a totally different level. And I get that from you, because you like lyrics, you like lyricists. The meaning of the song is much more important than nowadays, where it seems like the beat, which is always the same, it excuse me, is
no shot to
becomes
a
more
reggaeton artist out there.
It's like, no, it's different. It goes doom 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 dot. No.
Right.
No,
there's another snare in there.
So it's like that meaning where music has come from. It's just like, yes, the beat does carry the song because that's where it comes from. That's where the feeling comes from. But the aspect of understanding where this artist is coming from, what they're saying, not necessarily what they wrote, but what they're saying. What's the meaning behind the words, that sentence, that haiku, that this, that. It's poetry. You have to dive deep into it, and that's what we were talking about. I had a thought in my head when we were talking about the This Is America music video. I feel someone might laugh at me for this, but I feel it's timeless, because you could always watch it in different stages of when the music video first came out to today, and it hits the meaning of This Is America differently.
Yep.
You know, so it's more philosophical than it is only for that time period. Like, oh, this is what's going on in 2017 or whatever. No, you can watch that music video again in 2030, and it have just as much as an impact as it is on the world than it did when it first came out. We have a Russia and Ukraine situation going on right now. It's terrible, and it's, you know, destroying the economy of America. But you also see people, the richer are getting richer, while the poor are getting poorer. The interest rates are going up. This idea is like, you know, death rates and school shootings and XYZ. It flows with how the raw understanding of what America is, not the TV understanding of what other countries think America is and should be, but just the unmasked America. It ain't pretty. It's the land of the free, home of the brave. Yeah, you can do much of what you want. 4 years of Trump showed us that we could say whatever the hell we want and still get away with it. But it's ugly. It's dirty. It's gritty out here. It's Skid Row out here.
That's the
You
truth.
just gotta
literally.
prime it up.
And that song, that video brings a realization of that. Look at where we're at. Look at what's happening in real time. Look at what's happening right now in our country. This is a reflection of ourselves. And, you know, I think, like you said, timeless. That's a perfect analogy for the song, for the video. It's timeless. And that's what, as an artist, I think we want to make, is something that you will rock now and you'll rock 10 years in the future. You'll show this to your kids and say, oh man, bro, this used to be the joint at the parties. You know what I'm saying? This used to be the jam on road trips. And you show your kids and your kids show their kids. And like that, as an artist, that's all you want, is for your legacy to be hits
on.
You know, timeless hits that stand the test of time. And you're right. Like that's the situation in America, in the world right now, is in desperate straits, I feel like. And there's a realization, and I think that's why music is slowly making that change, to where you're hearing less of the mumble stuff and a little bit more of like somebody has something to say. Is because there's shit going on and people have stuff to talk about now. Like people used to talk about Eddie Murphy going and do a comedy stand-up special, and it's like Charlie Murphy was like, dude, he's been fine. Like life has been pretty boring for him. He's doesn't have anything to talk about. Ain't shit gone down that, you know, he feels like he needs to talk about. Right. And as a audience, as much as we want to see Eddie Murphy be funny on stage, we would also be hella pissed off and go and cancel this dude if he went on stage and bombed because he didn't have any material, right? Or
so, as you said, like cancel, like if he went and was just straight Eddie Murphy. Sorry to cut you off, but if he was just like straight, this generation can't handle Eddie Murphy with his stand-up.
Oh no,
exactly.
There'll be tweets and this and that. It'd be like, oh, what did he say here? And he said this and this and da 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 da. It's like, if you can't handle what somebody has to say, don't ask them to say nothing.
Exactly.
Listen, if they couldn't handle what Dave Chappelle had to say the other day, imagine what would happen if they put Eddie Murphy on back on there and he went old, like raw Eddie Murphy. He would be on the cancel culture immediately.
This is the era where we cancel Will Smith for being abused in his relationship. How do we cancel somebody for being abused? Right. I don't understand. They're like, oh, he went slap shit crazy and slapped Chris Rock on stage. Do you see this man's face? This man looks like he's been depressed for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? At least. It's like, and we've seen somebody have like a mental breakdown on national television, and then we go on the internet and attack them more. Like, how are we helping this person's mental state?
Yeah, because they don't understand like the.
I feel like we're getting into a whole new topic now.
Yeah, we ran.
We're
preaching.
It got real
right now.
It got real.
We're ready to for this.
Quick. That's so funny.
Forget the Thor trailer. Let's talk about society.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we're gonna definitely jump back into it, guys. I do not that what we're talking about isn't great information as well. We could probably that's gonna be another something we gotta bring that back though.
For sure.
I do want to kind of talk over the Thor trailer for any of you guys who have not seen it. Thor: Love and Thunder and Love.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Sorry, I'm dyslexic apparently. But it definitely is. They dropped the teaser. I have been waiting for this teaser to drop for a hot minute now. So let's get into it. Robbie, Nino, let's get into what we're thinking about. What do you guys think about the trailer? I'm gonna have the guests start off first. Nino, what do you think?
I'm mad biased, so I'm just gonna say I love it just because Thor. Like it's Thor. Like Thor's coming back with a new movie. Like I've been ready for another Thor movie for like ever. So me and my wife saw Thor Ragnarok when it came out in theaters, And I just remember like being in the theater with her and being like, I think Thor is like my favorite of the, you know what I mean, of the single Avenger movies, like the solo joints. You know, I think Thor might be my favorite series of that. Now I love Iron Man. Don't get me wrong, Iron Man's classic, not gonna be touched. But Thor is like on a whole nother level as far as comedy is concerned and entertainment in general, and just the crossovers that be in the movie. It's incredible. I can't wait for Love and Thunder is the
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, don't follow my dyslexic ass.
I almost slipped up. I almost said Thunder first, and I was like, wait, don't be Felix. Don't be Felix. Don't be Felix. But I loved it, man. I can't wait to see it.
What about you, man?
I have to say I'm biased as well. Not to piggyback off JC there, but I'm biased in a different way. I am a huge Natalie Portman fan. So anything she could make a movie about how she lived in a box, and it's just her in a box for an hour and a half, and I'll watch it. It's the greatest movie of all time, like in my eyes. I've been watching it, but when she was with what was it? Dustin Hoffman, and her they made a movie is Mr. Megorium's Wonder and Porn. Love that movie.
Yes.
And then another one that comes to mind is Black Swan. She was in that.
That was
great movie.
Wonderful movie. Wonderful depiction of that stage play. With a ballet, sorry. There's another one that comes to mind. It was I can't remember the name of the movie, but
V for Vendetta.
Yes, well, V for Vendetta as well. That was actually my fourth I was going to say. But she made a movie with James Franco and Seth Green. And I can't remember the name of it.
I know the movie you're talking about. I just can't.
Yeah, it's really funny and stupid.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what it, but it it showed that she has like such a diverse personality. She can be funny, she can be serious, she can be elegant, she's everywhere. And now you see her coming back to the MCU, and she's taking the role of one of the more prominent female characters in the comic book series of Thor and the comic book series of Marvel in general. And it's really cool that she gets to helm that responsibility of giving Lady Jane that the credit that is due. So for me, you couldn't have picked a better actor. And look at that beautiful picture that we got there.
Fire.
She looks amazing. If you take a still shot of her like that, and then you take the comic book still shot, it looks exactly the same. From the helmet, the storyline of the broken Mjolnir and how to piece back together, but Thor wasn't worthy anymore because of his thought process, and then Lady Jane came in because she was more pure of heart. It's such a deep storyline, and I can't wait to see Lady Jane get her debut, and I can't wait to see the glorious and gorgeous Miss Natalie Portman do her thing once again.
Glorious
and beautiful. One of the only ladies I know that can pull off a short haircut and still look amazing.
Yes, let's not throw too much on that one. But honestly speaking, though, so I was actually a huge fan. I'm not gonna keep my wife's name.
Out your mouth. You'll sit down.
Honestly speaking, when the trailer came out, so I remember hearing chirp that it was coming out, and I was like, okay, bet. So I was looking forward to it because I've been hearing that they were going to do the Jane Foster Thor, and I was excited for it because I've always loved the different renditions of the Thor character. So when they do this version of Thor, the Lady Thor, I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. And when I heard that she was reprising the role, she had been gone. If you haven't really followed up on the I don't know where you've been. You haven't really watched any of the Marvel movies, but if you haven't followed up on it, she hasn't been there, and they keep mentioning her. Where's Jane? Oh, what happened with the Jane?
She's been gone.
Thor's like,
since Ultron.
She's
She's been gone since
Ultron. The Ultron movie, she hasn't been there. And I think where they're going with it, from what I remember reading, it is she had suffered from cancer. So she is. This is supposedly gonna help break or beat her cancer. So I was kind of surprised into seeing that, or to hear how they're gonna go with it. But what I did love is how they start off Red Thor getting kind of back to his physical health, and they show him training in the jungles and in the planets, and
Facts.
so I'm excited to see what that. You know what though, I love what they did with the heavier Thor. I'm not gonna say fat Thor. That's wrong to say as a former fat kid. But the heavier Thor, I understood where they were going with it. He was depressed. He lost to Thanos. Thanos did what he did, and then seeing him in Endgame heavier after he killed Thanos and kind of made up for what he missed out on. It was good to see him, like, you see that struggle. And you see his timeline where he was not worthy to do the snap. And I was reading something. I was watching another podcast that they were talking about that, why didn't they use Thor to do the snap when he's a god? To be fair, he honestly could have handled that snap better than anybody.
Right.
Better than Hulk, better than Iron Man, better than even Thanos himself. He's a god. And they were saying, well, his depressive mind wouldn't have handled it. So if you're looking at, when you're watching how Thor's mindset was throughout the whole lineage, he was a prideful man, loved to fight, had his fill of food, had his fill of everything, but he was a very obsessive man. And when he didn't win, it got on him.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter is that having him not do the snap, it killed him because he's like, I couldn't save my friends, I couldn't save the galaxy, essentially, the universe. So I definitely love the fact that watching this, you see his buildup of, okay, I failed, I got it, but I'm not 100% there. And now you're seeing him now where he's like, okay, everything's back to normal, and I can do this now. And he gets back to physical shape. I love the humor already that they're going to show between him and Chris Pratt. Star-Lord, I love it already. I was in love with the whole trailer. I definitely, the trailer sold me already. And I'm not even super biased. I love Thor, but of the Marvel universe, I've always been more of ironically, because I have arachnophobia, I've always been a Spider-Man guy. But I love where they're going with this. Yes, laugh at me all you want. It's just the weirdest thing.
I hate spiders, but I love Spider-Man. Cool.
I'm the same way though. I literally just killed a spider in my car today, and I thought I fought God, but I love Spider-Man. I don't necessarily like a lot of things that move, and you don't really have much control of. Like, why are they in your space like that? You know what I mean? Why do spiders come into your shit? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, we don't even have anything for you here. You got to make a web here. You got to make all this own. You got to concoct your own environment in my space. Why don't you just go back to the grass that you came from and go make your stuff over there? Like, don't be in my space. Because then I got to go and kill you.
And I've been taking the dog out, and I hit a web, and I'm going. And I'm like, what was that? Because you can't see
dead
it.
ass. You out here fighting yourself. You can't see nothing. You can't see no web. You can't see a web like at nighttime and stuff. Like, and then if you have hair like me, like, stuff gets in here and then it lives here and then it's a lot. It's a lot. Just stay in your own space.
It's a whole new ecosystem in here.
A whole new ecosystem here, and they love it here for some reason. They taking selfies and vacation reels and stuff.
I guess I'm the oddball because
I
work.
Hashtag Nino's hair.
Hashtag Nino's new vacation. I'm the oddball because when I'm working at the clinic and I work with dialysis patients, and it's just like when we get up in the morning and we'll see like all these little critters and stuff. Sometimes it's like be like, what is that? That's a spider, and everybody's like, kill it. I'm like, hold on now. I'll take one of the urine cups and I'll go outside and I'm like, here, he don't need to die. He don't need to die.
Life.
I think about its
man,
life.
you're one
He
of those.
got here. He's just trying to survive. Roaches, I'm biased. I'm mad racist with roaches.
That's something we need to talk about this in society. What is that about? He just cared about a spider's life, but a roach, peasant. Get him out of here. No,
tell me what a roach is.
he don't pay rent. Like what? None of them pay rent. I don't understand where your logic is. Get rid of all of it. None of them
Before
pay
we
taxes.
go too far off, I do
Like,
want
how
to say
they-
anything more than 4 limbs gotta go. If it
Really?
uses more than 4 limbs to move, it gotta go.
Terrible.
I don't like it. And ants,
That's what I'm
flies,
saying. What do you need more
get
than
rid
4?
of them.
How about
I
you
will
grow up?
save, and I'll save worms. I've saved snakes. I've saved lizards in my parents' house almost on a weekly basis. I'm biased against 2, and it's centipedes and roaches. Y'all go to hell. So
I'll save
everything
a frog
else
before
has
I save an insect. I'll be honest with you.
everything
You
else
saved
has
the
its purpose
snake?
in life. Yeah, there was a
On
snake.
purpose?
It was a tiny. It was probably about the length of this pen, if not twice the length of this pen or something. But it was tiny. It was in the middle of the road, and I'm like, yo,
Wait,
so
you
we gonna
said
run
twice
over this
length of
thing.
that. There's a big difference.
Robbie, when you say that story next time, don't mention the size. Would have been way more impressive had you not mentioned how big that spider was.
It could have been 20 feet long. It's like, you just saved the snake. All right, go.
You
I mean,
say
it was
the
in middle of
snake?
road.
I'm thinking this motherfucker
There's
got
like-
anaconda and like fucking saved
Just
it and
holding
threw it
him
over
around.
I was like, wait a minute. You probably gonna. It was in the middle of the road, but it was next to a storm drain. So he was between, a rock and a hard place. He about to get run over, or you're gonna fall in the storm drain. I don't think he could swim. He looked more like a grassland.
But did he
snake,
not
though.
put himself in that position?
He
Yeah.
did though.
But we
Snake gotta
put the
go.
apartment
Snake gotta go. We gotta
complex
get rid
in
of all
his
people with that type of
way.
body.
So I picked him up. I held him by
No.
the head. I put him in the grass, in the bushes. I was like, all right, there you go.
I respect you for it. That just can't be me. I look at him. I pray for him. I throw a little prayer up. Hopefully, he in the storm drain already. My bad. He in the storm
Whoopsie.
drain. Sorry,
I
buddy.
hope you live. Swim.
Whoopsie, Sam.
Whoopsie.
Good luck. Good riddance.
So I do want to kind of jump into the next one really quick, guys. So with talk spiders and snakes, Lotus. talk about
Fuck them
talk
snakes,
about
man.
everything.
Fucking live and live. Yo,
So I was kind of talking with somebody recently, and we were talking about the trailer, and we said, do you think this is going to be a direct effect of the multiverse of madness?
Yeah.
So with Jane Foster getting the hammer, because it's interesting. Mjolnir broke the last time we saw it. It was shattered to pieces by Helen. So then, Thanos and everything happened. Now you're gonna see Spider-Man stuff. Now you're seeing the multiverse, and then Jane. So it's not far-fetched to think that this is triggered from the multiverse of madness. And even looking at some of the pictures and trailers that they've dropped on it, it does look very interesting to see that it's gonna. It wouldn't be surprising to see that it stems from that. What's your take on that?
I think it's definitely going to transition to something a lot bigger. And Nino, where you at, brother? You can
I
still
don't know
hear
what
us?
happened with my camera. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
We
you can
hear
hear you.
you.
It's fine. Your
I don't know what
camera,
happened with my
lights down.
camera.
I saw the lights go out. I thought you were setting the mood. I'm like, all right.
Right? In the daytime, just out here shutting off lights like I'm Scorpio Sky. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I apologize. Should I try to hop back in?
No, you're in. You're in. We just for some reason
Yeah.
having camera issues.
Yeah, fiddle around with your camera if you want to. We're gonna keep the conversation going as
Yeah,
much as
keep
we
on
can
going,
with
fellas.
with the question, so that you could chime in. But if you want, you could. If nothing's working out, then you can exit and come back in, and we'll still be on this question, so you can do your thing. Yeah. So like as I was saying, like with the multiverse of madness, I feel. Have you seen Loki yet, Felix?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I don't know if you've seen it. I hope we don't spoil it too much for you, but it is what it is at this point.
The trailer for Loki, for those who haven't seen it, and if Nino hasn't seen it, then the trailer for it branches off into there's a main timeline, and then shit hits the fan, and now there's multiple timelines. Things are falling into place, this, that, and the other. King the Conqueror's there. There's multiple versions of everyone. There's multiple versions of the Avengers. There's multiple versions of teams like the Avengers. Hint, hint, wink, wink, X-Men. And there's different timelines within the same timeline that could be in different stages of time, if that sentence makes any sense. So to sum it up, you could be in the 80s and the 2000s at the same time period as somebody who's that's living in a dinosaur realm. So you could be millions of years apart on a singularity, but when it comes to the multiverse, you're actually on the same spectrum. What I think is that the multiverse of madness is going to open up all of those doors and then try to save itself into becoming a singularity again. But now we have all of these things going on, and I think that's going to sum up why Lady Jane is here. I think that's going to sum up, if you haven't seen our video on the Doctor Strange trailer, if you haven't seen the Doctor Strange trailer, it sums up why Charles Xavier is part of the Illuminati and why they're just trying to fix things, because they are, in a sense, the law and order of the time police, if anything would make sense.
Oh, sorry, I kind of accidentally hit a button.
No, even.
That was my
You're fine. So, like with the multiverse, I feel it's like taking a jigsaw puzzle and putting that puzzle to get one picture together, but you still see all those lines in between. So you're trying to put everything together, and you're trying to make everything work, but now you have multiple realms and multiple dimensions that are clashing with each other, where you have two Thors, where in Loki you have like 7 Lokis. Like, you're gonna have the Avengers, but you're also gonna have the X-Men. You're gonna have A-Force, which is the all lady version of the Avengers. You're gonna have Young Avengers alongside that. You're gonna have Fantastic Four. That's gonna kind of all of these timelines that they were doing the same things that we were doing when we were watching Avengers 1 and 2, but they were different. They were defeating different villains. They were conquering their own situations at the same time in the same area in different timelines. So I feel that's what.
No, and it's 100% correct.
Because there's no indication for the past movies, or any movie for that matter, of where she is, what she's doing. Yeah, she's studying, she's still this, she's still that, she got a doctorate, yada yada yada. And then, but to have her just come in, this is gonna be a huge storyline. It's gonna be a huge introduction to this character. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, and it's been awesome, kind of watching the trailer. I was kind of picking it apart and thinking of those theories. And I'm like, man, it's a dope theory to think about, because of the fact, like you said, it's the multiverse opened up so many different panels of timeline that you're like, wait a second, what's going on? Like, you have, like you said, 7 different Lokis. You have 20 different versions of this person and 20 different versions of that person, and you're like, wait a second, this is changing up the whole game. And so when that theory got pitched, I was like, it's like kind of like watching a Flashpoint moment. It's like things come in and people are going to start saying, hey, like, what is the, what if there was a different Iron Man, a different Spider-Man, a different, like, okay.
Right.
And then thinking about a lot of stuff. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Hey, just a side note, see if you could send an invite to Nino again. I'm thinking in my head, like, maybe he doesn't have that
yeah, I
link.
think he
lost
got
the link
it
or something.
Yeah, I already resent it to him, so he should be good.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. But yeah, so just kind of like watching everything that we've done, or that they've done so far, it's interesting to see, because of the fact that the there he is. I just heard him.
Hi.
My apologies, fellas.
Very good.
No, you're good.
I had to move to my vehicle. Would you believe it that I had to move to my car to get better internet connection? What is going on?
Man, what kind of car you got?
Well,
You got Wi-Fi in the car?
You know what I'm saying? Is like, I feel like I have some type of extraterrestrial, like, Avengers Wi-Fi that I could just, like, pop up into my car.
This man driving a Lucid before they come on the market.
I'm working, man. I'm on my way. But y'all gonna go on a little car trip with me, but we gonna talk this out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I like road trips. So there you
We're
go.
going on a trip
I'll stay
in
on
our
the main
favorite
road.
rocket ship.
My jam. My kids are gonna go crazy when they hear you sing that.
But I don't
Yeah,
know if you
go
kind of
ahead,
heard
Peter.
of some of the question, but we were kind of picking up to what we think that this is a direct effect from the multiverse movie, which I know
Right.
we haven't seen it yet. But what is your take on that?
So I'm like very excited to see this movie because of everything. I was a big fan of WandaVision, and watching
Ooh, yes.
WandaVision come together and seeing where that's gonna lead to into this movie, and seeing the correlations between those two series. I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan as well, and I didn't think I was going to be honest. I'm just gonna throw that out there. When the Doctor Strange movie came out, I was like, okay, first time I went to go see it, smoked just a little bit too much weed before I got into the movie theater, and all that trajectory stuff was just like, I was like, did I smoke weed
Oh
or
no.
what happened? Did somebody lace me with LSD or what? So,
This is
but
me in
it
the
was an
movie.
incredible movie. Incredible movie. Once I saw it sober, and so yeah, I'm super excited for where they go with this movie, man. I love Doctor Strange and like how he be having funny parts too. He's not like he's a weird character in the Marvel universe because he can be so serious and such a dick sometimes, but it's actually really comical with a lot of the sub characters that you have in the movies, like Wong and like, you know what I mean? You're
Oh
here
my
to
God,
see
yes.
like where Doctor Strange is gonna like lead into the next set of movies, and I feel like this is gonna be one of those big pivotal movies in the Marvel universe as we move forward in the series. I can't wait to see Wanda fuck some shit up. Wanda's that bitch. I just want to let that be known. I love Jade Cargill and everything, but Wanda that bitch all day. I can't wait. Multiverse of Madness is gonna be fun, man. I think we're getting into like a really fun section of the Marvel universe. Even though we saw like probably the best movies we've ever watched in like the past, what do they call it? I'm sorry. So I'm a nerd and everything, but like I don't know some of the lingos here. What do we call this? Like we're the next phase, right? This is the next phase.
Yeah.
Of the public. See,
Like
like
phase
the
So
eight.
last
they broke it down
I
into
can't remember.
phases.
Is it phase
I just
4
feel like
right
the
now?
last
Phase 5?
phase was like the best movies ever created. Like they gave us everything in the last phase of the Marvel movies, and it's like now it's like, God, what's next? What's gonna get into? And we've already seen Shang-Chi was like incredible. That movie was like bar none like one of the best Marvel movies out. That's just my opinion. But I love the Shang-Chi movie. The Eternals movie was gas. Yeah, we're just getting into like a lot of really good movies, and I don't think it was something that people expected from Marvel after all of the Avengers stuff.
Right.
It's funny, and it kind of jumped already into that. What do you think about the next Marvel phase? Because, like you mentioned, there's so many stuff that they're doing in the next phases of stuff that it really changes the game. Because outside of the main guys like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, the Eternal movies that they did, they kind of give a little bit more of a backstory on the Titans. Then you have Shang-Chi kind of going into another backstory and how they tie it in with Iron Man with the Mandarin. Then you have the WandaVision show, the Loki show, the the Winter Soldier and Falcon show. All of these different movies that you have and shows that they did to kind of link everything together is definitely creating an exciting time for them because of the fact that you have so much information and so much backstory that they're giving to it, and a lot of things that timeline-wise that it didn't you never really saw in the movies. Now you're seeing it, and oh wow, that they're doing a great job with it. I'm excited to see with what it goes through. I think the Multiverse of Madness is going to add to that effect, and I think is a huge reason why we're going to see another Thor. So it's definitely a big step in the Marvel world. What do you think, Robbie?
I always after the first phase, I started to see exactly like what they were doing. I was looking into articles and stuff, and we had Feige, and he was saying like, we have this phase, and these are the movies that are coming. okay, they're planning well ahead. They're planning, 5, 10 years in advance about, what they're doing. Now they're not so much doing that. It's like character structure isn't going to take 5, 10 years. It might take, 3 or 4 movies. But excuse me, when it comes to what Marvel's doing with the next phases, I always like to put it in my head like, yeah, you remember playing on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox, that video game is everywhere. But Marvel versus Capcom,
Oh God, I love those.
iconic. I
Yeah.
mean, I love
Yeah.
playing Marvel versus Capcom 2. I think it's the best one out of all of them. Even Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity, great video game. But when you think of every character has its own storyline. It's not like you're just kind of following this generic storyline and it leads to the same thing.
Right.
It's every character has their Ryu has his character has his arc. Sure Gormath, I think if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry to the nerds. I'm a nerd too. I just can't spell, but or pronounce things.
Same.
But sure Gormath, when you follow his character arc, it leads up to the same thing. You're fighting Thanos, you're fighting Galactus, you're fighting whoever's at the end, but it impacts the entire story for everybody else too, because you follow the path of that character. I think that's what the next phase is going to do, because now we're getting into multiverses. Now we're getting to not only you're on the Earth, but you're also in different galaxies with Guardians of the Galaxy, but you're also getting into Norse mythology, and like you have the god Gore the God Killer, I think, and the God Butcher. So you're going into like high Norse mythology. You're going into I think Zeus and Greek mythology are going to make an appearance in Love and Thunder. They're not only going to multiple galaxies and universes, but now they're going multiple dimensions too. So I see all of these little things as different characters in the game. And as you click on different characters, as you follow their stories, they might cross paths, but they have their own destiny. And they have a movie or a video or a stream or something that explains what they're going through and how they all culminate at the end to fight something much bigger than what their story arcs were. I can't wait to see. It's gonna take that little 3 minutes is like 25 years of Marvel that we're looking
literally
at in the future, man.
So I have a question about that, though. Not to cut you off, Robbie, but
no,
like,
good,
so we got rid of Thanos, right? We got rid of Thanos, and Thanos was like top 3 villains, I think, in of all time in Marvel. I would say. So like, who is the next big villain that they're gonna try to take out now? Like, I'm assuming that the Avengers are done. But like, are they? What's going like that? I think that's what is like the surrounding questions about the next Marvel phase is that we don't really know.
Right.
So and it's like kind of like being a wrestling fan, right? It's like you're kind of pissed off that you don't know what's next, but you're tuning in to watch to find out what is next. But all at the same time, you're like reading the dirt sheets to try to figure out like, well. If this is going on, then that means this is going to happen, right? And then you're just on this constant, like, whirlwind of, like, what's about to happen. What do you all
start
think?
doing fantasy booking of it.
Fantasy bookings, exactly. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening in the Marvel universe. It's like we don't really – it's almost like this fresh slate where it's like you don't really know what's next.
Right. Let me take. I want Felix to answer this question for you, but let me take 1 minute to ping off of what I just said. Just a simple comment. Thanos was our universe. Galactus is our timeline. Kang the Conqueror is multi-dimensional. So it's like a tier process. You think Thanos was bad? Wait until you have to figure out what to do when Doctor Doom is coming and kicking everybody's ass just as bad. But then you have the intergalactic He's a Silver Surfer, and Galactus coming to. He's an eater of worlds and planets. He has to feed. It's just business. It's nothing emotional. It's straight business. But then
it's straight food.
It's straight food. He has to eat. You know.
It's like Robbie at the Chinese buffets.
Hey, we went for breakfast. And I ordered 2 meals, and they were like, "Oh, you got a third person? Come on!" I'm like, "No, this is I'm fat." but then you have Kang the Conqueror, who is in multiple timelines. He exists in different timelines at the same time, subconsciously and consciously. So he can control himself in different timelines and different galaxies and different dimensions at the exact same time. That's why in the comic books, he had the Council of Kangs, but they all ran different dimensions, but they all came together to say, "Hey, what's going on in your world?" Yeah, I know. Well, this is so he was controlling everything at the same time while also being hyper aware of what's going on in everything at the exact same time in every dimension, in every galaxy, in every universe. Felix, what's your thoughts on that? We should have smoked weed before we had this conversation.
Oh man!
Ooh, amen. I was over here trying to like not be late, and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even smoke."
So honestly, like to answer that question, piggybacking on what JC had, what you had asked us. So first off, let me say this: I was blown away with the stupid fact that I did not realize they showed us Kang the Conqueror in the Loki show. I was blown away that it took me a hot minute to figure out that was Kang the Conqueror. So this stupid me for not catching that. But when watching the show and watching all this stuff, I was like, oh my god, like Kang the Conqueror is about to fuck shit up in this next timeline. And I think to answer your question, the next big bad guy is gonna be Kang the Conqueror. And the next new set of Avengers is where you're gonna see how everything that you watched in the shows, everything you saw on an Endgame to what you're gonna watch next is gonna all bring that back together. Because now you're gonna have a grittier Spider-Man who's gonna have to re-image himself. You're gonna have a Loki coming from the old timeline that wasn't supposed to be created to this to help jump into the Avengers. Thor is gonna come back into the mix. The Lady Thor may get back into the mix. Doctor Strange is gonna get back into the mix. Now you're adding all the other guys, X-Men, Fantastic Four. This is where you're gonna lead into all this extra stuff and where you're gonna see the new Avengers come together and how they're gonna show that there is not just the Avengers out there that can save the world. X-Men can do it. Fantastic Four can do it. So I think you're gonna see that. And they've been doing it, right? Yeah, so I think that's what you're going to see in the next phase into it. And at the same time, I also see the Galactus getting involved. I think those are the next 2 big bad guys you're going to see get into the mix. And not to mention, jumping onto the WandaVision, how White Vision kind of flew away at the end of the show. So now you've got another mix into it, because now you're going to have to see where he becomes that what's the name of it again? He takes on like a bad guy role for a little bit, and he's just like nastier because he's Vision with all the extra powers.
Right. And
so like
still no soul.
Still no soul.
Still don't give no fucks.
Kind of jumping into it, man. I think we're definitely gonna see it
because I just feel like I'm such a huge Marvel fan of like everything that they've been doing, and I feel like, you know, obviously Marvel is like top tier when it comes to the superhero movies, and I thought you know, for a long time DC has been DC, and you know what I mean, everybody's had their opinions about it. Now we gotta kind of shut up because that Batman movie was something else. It was something else. It was something else.
5 times already.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not like typical DC comic movie that we've gotten. So like the conversation is changing. Now we're getting better superhero movies, better comic book movies. I think it's good for all of it. And I just want Marvel to figure out the Fantastic Four. Can we just can we just figure out the Fantastic Four so we can finally get like the right Fantastic Four movie that we've been praying for?
Right.
Because
And they have
don't
all
be
the material.
surprised.
It's right there. I have full confidence in them.
Don't be
Yeah.
surprised that they don't jump back onto this with everything, because of the fact that the multiverse is gonna set the stage for what's gonna happen next. I can see them hitting on all cylinders and bringing back a Fantastic Four the right way. I don't think they'll bring back the OG cast. I think they'll bring a new cast, and that second cast, I think that we forget about. With Michael B. Jordan will be kind of forgotten on that. Especially because of the fact that I think they may bring back Killmonger anyways, with the way they did the What If sagas.
Right.
So I definitely think this is the next phase is exciting to see. It's pushing a lot of other companies, DC, cough cough, to step their game up in their movies. But yeah.
Yeah, and I like to always take a look at film in a sense of some of the movies that you make are filler movies to see if things work or if they don't work. And it's like for Batman, like with Robert Pattinson, if you take a look at Tenet, he's playing like that detective role to see if he fits. And he also worked with Christopher Nolan, who was the creator of Batman, and he was giving him tips and stuff. He actually wanted to keep that away from Christopher Nolan, saying, "Hey, I auditioned for Batman. Christopher Nolan knows everything. He's like the godfather of directing. Like he's a Mount Rushmore. He's one of them, and the Mount Rushmore of directing. So it's just like, you know, when you say, okay, you're trying to be Batman, what's Matt Reeves trying to do? This is the direction that they're going in. It's more of a detective work, more of the first 5 years of what Batman's doing. Take it in this direction. So you have this movie that we're doing. Okay, so let's take this character so we can prime you to get into the role and the mindset to be Batman, be Bruce Wayne on that level. I think that setting up for in the MCU, setting up for the Fantastic Four, we've already seen the Avengers on that scale of people, how they have to learn how to coexist and learn how to be a team. Now we already have a team with less people, so it's going to be easier to relate and to really follow along with the story. But you brought up the Eternals earlier. When you take a look at the Celestials, that's a filler movie in my eyes. Not saying that's not bad, it's not good. Everybody has their opinions on it, but it's a filler movie to get the audience prepared and their mindset ready for the scale of how big Galactus is. So you have a person in the hand.
I agree with that.
Looks like an ant in a Celestial. So imagine a planet in the side in the hands of Galactus. You can't just throw that on them. And I think that's why in one of the two, I think it was in Infinity War or Endgame, the Living Tribunal was supposed to be in there. And he was talking to Doctor Strange, and they took it out because they said, I don't think, and Kevin Feige said that, he's like, I don't think they would understand the scale of what this godlike figure is, because we also have a character arc with a godlike figure. So with Thor.
Right.
So let's hold that into something different and then prime it with the people with the Eternals so they could see exactly what the scale of different gods is. Just because you're a god doesn't mean you're all the same size, kind of thing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie, I think in one of the movies they did kind of bring up the Titans and the Celestials because they showed them was it Endgame or
I can't remember which one. I think it was.
I can't remember which Marvel, but I remember seeing that they did mention it. If anyone knows it, drop it on the comments because I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think about it. But I know I saw them bring it up in there, and they kind of showed like the size difference of. I believe so.
Yeah,
but they showed the size difference.
I think it's Infinity War. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Infinity War because I literally just saw it like 2 nights ago. And in Infinity War, I'm pretty sure there was a reference about the Titans and the Celestials, which I was actually curious about because I remember watching Eternals and thinking like, dude, this, like Robbie said, like this is a massive scale change as far as like what we're used to with the Marvel Universe and what's about to go down with the Marvel Universe. Like it's definitely showing you, like you said, the different levels of gods that there are and what they're capable of, what they're you know, what the difference is to the scale of what we've been used to as far as like Thanos and such. And yeah, I think that's interesting to take into consideration.
Yeah, because it is thinking of an Eternal in the hands of a Celestial. Now imagine a Celestial in the hands of Galactus. You have to prepare people for that. You can't just drop that. It'll be
they're not ready yet.
Yeah. Because as comic book geeks, we know this. You know, as comic book viewers and moviegoers of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we know this. We're prepared for that. We're waiting for it. But the general audience that they get their money from, they don't follow the movies like that. They don't follow comic books like that. They don't know the story, so they're just following the MCU story. So you just drop this bigger than Earth character, and you're like, why is he so big? So you got to prepare people for that.
Right.
So I do want to kind of get
all these
to
questions. We've already asked a lot of questions in this Marvel.
So I want to kind of get to our favorite question of the evening, which is our always go-to question to end the night. It's going to be a two-part on this one, so bear with me on it. So for the trailer of Thor, is this rated F? And going into the new phase of Marvel, are you considering that a rated F, or do you want to hold your rating for that right now? I'll start off with our guest, Nino. Drop it up. What are you thinking?
So I'm going to go ahead and say Thor is definitely going to be rated F. Like you said, with the comic crossovers of Star-Lord and Thor already got me interested, already got me dying laughing in the trailer alone. Natalie Portman, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. I don't even have to answer this question anymore. I'm going to just say Natalie Portman and leave that question alone. So, yeah.
Natalie Portman equal billions.
Rated F, Natalie Portman. I think the next Marvel, I mean, everything Marvel is always, like, to me, I mean, I don't know. I could be biased, but like everything Marvel to me is always lit. So I can't see them dropping the ball on this next phase out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So I do think that they're gonna do a great job. I think that we have so many interesting crossovers and storylines that are being presented to us. I was a huge fan of the Eternals movie, so like so much was explained in that because it was such a long movie. But it just goes to show you that long movie was just like a small little tidbit of like what's about to go down, like what Robbie was saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and say both.
kind of lost a little bit. There we go.
Just a little bit. Yeah. How about you, Philip?
We're back now.
Was that okay?
Yeah,
yes.
we did.
Yes, we did.
No, we got the last
okay,
like
cool.
the last second, but everything was pretty good. We got it. On my end,
Perfect.
The movie definitely for me, the trailer was rated F for me. I definitely love the way that they showed it. I definitely love the way the I'm big into comedy, and I love Chris Pratt's portrayal of Star-Lord. I think it's comedic gold with him, and they kind of let him do his own thing, which is perfect. So I definitely love that. I love watching what they're going to give us. The new direction of it looks great. In the direction of Marvel, I say it's rated F. I'm going to tentatively say rated F because I'm hoping they don't drop the ball with some of the stuff, because the later Marvel effects is big when it comes to what they're going to do in regards to, like, you know, the Spider-Man he's going to morph into this more adult-like. I know they're trying to bring in Venom. I know they're trying to bring in a couple of different stuff on this. I'm hoping that they do this correct and that they hold to it. So that's just my point of view, but I definitely love it with Marvel's direction. Robbie?
I feel 100%. Hey, Natalie Portman, all right? Natalie Portman. All right?
It's rated Natalie Portman now.
Natalie Portman. That's our new. That's our new rating. It ain't rated F. It's Natalie Portman.
When we're in love with it, that's it. Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Like, damn, that was Natalie Portman, man. Wow.
Natalie Portman.
I can't wait for Love and Thunder, clearly. And I can't wait to see what the MCU has been doing. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 30 movies, not to count the series that we got there. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're doing. I like the way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is pissing off the movie industry, because a lot of directors don't like that. They feel like the superhero movies aren't true movies. I don't understand why, but you know, you go to the Oscars and there'll be some movie that had on an indie movie festival that wins, you know, top Oscar or whatever, or, you know, a movie that goes to you know, the best actor or best lead male role that goes to, you know, Will Smith. It's about, you know, Venus and Serena's father, and that's cool and all, but when you think of the scale of cinematic movies, story arcs, the timelines, when you think of like just character building, I don't think anybody does it better than Marvel. They've been building characters since Incredible Hulk. I can't even remember what year that came out with, when it was Edward Norton. They still count that movie as a MCU.
Well, it was. So, and if anyone doesn't remember, he was supposed to be Hulk all the way through this whole form, but contracts and issues with him wanting to be director and some of the movies, it kind of fell through. But he actually wanted Mark Ruffalo to continue the role.
Good.
So
and Mark Ruffalo was perfect. I mean, I'm glad he's getting his due, and he's doing a lot of new movies there. But like the industry is being pushed in a different direction when it comes to what the audience wants and what they crave for, because of Marvel. Marvel, almost every movie that they deliver out, not the ones that they do collaborations with Sony, we ain't talking about those, but like when Marvel does a movie on its own, they almost track $1 billion to $2 billion a movie. It's insane to think about the amount of money that they.
Hey, just do you want to? No, yeah, I'm still there. I think his camera's just changing. Just want to clarify really quick, because thank you, Cliffhanger, for jumping in on our comments on this, clarifying that 2008 was the Incredible Hulk movie.
Thank you. Thank you, Cliffhanger.
Face through and through.
Happy belated Passover to you, my man.
But yeah, man, I definitely enjoy it. I definitely enjoying watching what they've done with it, and it's been great. So let's kind of keep it going from there with how they picked it up.
Yeah, definitely read it.
Yes.
Prime time. So, thank you, my man. I know you driving all over town. At first, I thought you fell out of your car. I'm like, oh no, he put his phone down. I was like, what's going on? Is he okay?
Almost.
I was like, oh,
them damn snakes. I was out here trying to save a snake. Life.
Save the snakes.
In the
Put it
wilderness.
in the comment section. Save the snakes. Hashtag save the snakes, baby.
We're gonna make this a whole hashtag.
Look, over here where we live close to the boondocks. It ain't the boondocks yet. It's St. Cloud. But we have a convention center over here, and they do a reptile con every now and then. And my wife touched her first reptile, I think it was a python, and she was like, "Oh my god, it feels so different." And I was just like, "Right, it's not slimy as us. It's an experience that you have to, if you got the guts for it, if you got even the notion for it, to touch a snake. The skin on a snake feels so beautiful, man. I will pay for y'all to come to this convention and touch a snake with.
Listen, I tell you right now, my sister-in-law used to have a pause. Listen.
I just realized. I tried so hard to be like, my wife touched her first snake.
That was great.
I've been married for 3 years. Like,
And she's just not touching a snake?
He ain't touched a snake yet.
Yo, my man.
Oh, y'all are great. Y'all are great. I'm so glad y'all back. Oh man, it's good to have y'all back.
Thank
Man,
you,
I
Absolutely, man. Rated F. Thank y'all
Thank
for having me on the show, and giving me an opportunity to just. This was so much better than the regular interviews that I do because like, it's just like, and those interviews are cool too. I love doing interviews, but this was just like chilling with y'all and talking about some Marvel stuff and enjoying life and talking about snakes and yeah, it's been a great time. I enjoyed myself.
No problem, man. They say this definitely ain't gonna be the last time. I remember you saying you got gigs, maybe come out and support you on your gigs, man. Just give us the times and the days, and we'll see you at your next ones. And maybe we could collab again. This definitely ain't the last one, man.
You know what? And I have a question for you. It's an outside question. I didn't write it out because I was thinking about it for a while. I would love if you could. Now, don't feel pressured for doing it, but could you create a rated F rap intro off the top? Not now, but like maybe we can do it. And I know I love the Thrill song. I love the album The Thrill.
I love that.
But
song.
if you could do it,
that song.
I would love to see it. I would love to hear it, and I would promote it, man. If you could.
That's cool.
Let's do it, bro. I'm all for it. I would love to. Let's recreate the theme song for the show. Let's do something new and fresh. Yeah, bro. Let's do it. I'm all down for that. I got a new album coming out very soon. I won't give any dates, but very soon, new album is coming, and we're going to be getting back on the road really soon. Very, very soon, you're going to be able to see us in the live setting very soon with a live band, and it's going to be crazy, man. We are really getting ready for a very pivotal part of the year, and I can't wait to come back with some new, fresh fire for y'all, and that new Rated F theme song coming soon.
Man. I love it.
Yes, God bless you, man. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Anything you need,
God
let us
bless
know,
y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me again. You got it, man. Same to y'all. Y'all already know if y'all ever need anything, please hit me up and let me know when I can get back on here, man. Well, let's do something live together. Let's do a sit down, grill out, whatever y'all want to do. Let's get it together.
Yeah.
COVID's over. COVID's done. It was all a scam.
I know.
It was all a scam. So let's get it together, man, and we'll bring the kids out and stuff, and we'll do something for sure.
Yeah, man, for sure. So, guys, I do want you guys really quick to kind of do another plug-in. I want you guys to follow the PrimeTime Nino. You've already heard he got some dates coming up. Got a new album coming up pretty soon. Follow it. The link is, I have his bio right there here. The PrimeTime Nino. His Instagram, Twitter handle, guys. You follow that, and he will get you all the updates. Guys, please as well follow The Rated F here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you get the updates whenever we drop some new albums. Please, guys, we want you to subscribe and get that little alert there. So whenever we go live, you get the updates at all times. Yeah, guys, we love it. We love to have everybody live. Thank you, everyone who's been live and on the comments. Till next time, people, I am Felix. You got?
Yes, Robbie, and again, PrimeTime Nino, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. You over here driving around town. See? I love that. That's dedication to an interview.
Gotta do it, baby. Gotta do it. Gotta get that money.
We are not here to waste nobody's time. I'm glad you had fun. We will do this again very soon.
I can't wait. Guys. It was a pleasure. Y'all are incredible. Keep it up, guys. Keep doing this show and keep showing people that you can make entertainment happen in the comfort of your own living room.
Yeah, man. I'm in jammies right now. Ain't got no studio.
You know, you're like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Natalie Portman. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Praise
the Portman.
Hey, much love to you guys. Thank y'all for having me, and we'll talk soon, man. Thank y'all so much, bro.
Yes,
for
sir.
sure,
Enjoy your day,
man.
Welcome to the thrill. Welcome to the thrill. Giving you something that's real. Tell me how you really feel. Now that you're hearing the thrill. I was all on my own. Now we're looking made it home. Wow.